For this video, I made a chandelier wall light, and I broke this video down into 7 super easy to follow steps. This creation is inspired by one of my favorite websites, and I'm sure you already guessed it, Wayfair, of course. So there's this made with chains, like these little chain links, and mine is made with acrylic chandelier gems. Also, there's cost over $400 at regular price, and you can make this for about $15 to $20 tops, and that's including the gems. Check the description box for more details. And while you're there, you'll see my friend Beverly. She and I are collaborating for this video. Her channel is called Beverly's Stunning Creations. And I'm sure a lot of you already know her or have heard of her because she is far and away one of the top creators in the DIY glam space. She is such a classy lady, and it really, really shows through her work. She's not only talented, she is just truly genuine. Who haven't heard of Beverly? I adore her. She's amazing. She's extremely gifted. And also, she creates these gorgeous glam DIYs. And she does use a lot of the Dollar Tree materials too. And it's the most calm and soothing voice I've ever heard on YouTube. I would love to hear from you. If you want to stop by and just kind of say hi, introduce yourself, and see if you like some of her DIYs. I'm sure she would appreciate that, and I'm sure you will enjoy it just as much. She brought her A game. This right here is so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Beverly, I can't wait to see how you made this. So the first step is going to be to prep your wooden pieces. And I start with a 6x8 wooden canvas because I want to use the wood pieces for this. So I strip the fabric off of the frame and I remove the staples from the back. Then I take the wood frame apart and I also cut the angles off of each end. Now, because the wood is so much like those square wooden dowels, I'm just going to refer to the parts of the 6x8 canvas as square dowels in this video. For the second piece, I'm using these long wooden canvases from Dollar Tree, and I also ripped the fabric off of it, and I cut this canvas in half long ways. And we only need 1/2 of this canvas, and this piece is going to be our main beam inside the structure. Paint these pieces with white acrylic paint just so that they're not bare. Next, I have 2 embroidery rings that I got from Walmart. One is a 4-inch and the other is an 8-inch. I use side cutter pliers to cut the ring, and I just snip off small pieces of the ring until I'm happy with the size of them. Once everything is completely prepped, now it's time for step 2, which step 2 is to create the 3 main pieces. So we're just going to put the pieces together. And we already know that the 1/2 of the long canvas is going to be the main beam or the centerpiece, so that part's already finished. Now for the other pieces, we're going to start with the top piece. So I drilled a small hole on each end of the small dowel, and I connected that to the ends of the small half embroidery ring, followed by a little screw making a D shape. And I did the same thing for the bottom piece. Now, I thought the bottom piece would be supporting a lot of weight, but it turns out that it's actually not supporting any weight at all. So you don't really need to screw this together. A good glue adhesive is all you need for this. Now we have our 3 pieces created, and that was pretty easy, right? Step 3 is just going to be assembling the structure. We're going to take those 3 pieces we made and we're going to put them all together. So we're going to place the bottom D inside of the canvas so that it's sitting on top of the lip and inside the 90-degree angle. Measure to make sure it's centered, and I have 3 inches on both sides. Now you can just add a strong glue or good adhesive here to secure the bottom piece into place. Another thing that I did that you won't have to, unless you just want to, like maybe use it for a platform to place a push light on, is support bars going across the D. And I just took the remaining pieces I had left from the frame or the dowel pieces, and I screwed one end in the back and I glued the front end to the ring. Next, I glue the small D to the top of the main beam And this time it's under the lip inside the 90-degree angle, followed by a pilot hole and a small screw, because this is the piece that's going to be bearing all the weight. So you want to make sure it doesn't come apart on you. That completes the third and final screw for this project. You only need 3 screws, and it's all for the one small piece. Once I built the structure, then I went outside and I spray painted it silver, and I was ready for step 4. And step 4 is going to be hanging our gems. I used a ruler to mark where I wanted my gems to be. I measured and marked every 3/4 of an inch across the face of the small ring, or D, which ended up being 14 marks. Next, I used a tiny drill bit to pierce the wood for my jump rings. I used these acrylic chandelier gems I bought from Amazon, and I threaded the jump rings through each hole. Once I made my way across the other side, I really wasn't happy with the way it looked. It just looked kind of bare. To make it look full and pretty, I added another jump ring in each hole, making it 2 strands per hole, which made all the difference. It just really filled it out. I also added a strand on the very end. Since I couldn't drill a hole there because of the screw, I just hot glued the jump ring to the face, which worked out really well. And now that our gems are all hung, we're ready for step 5. And step 5 is to add a frame and connect the bottom gems. So to support the bottom gems, I'm going to be using this thin plastic frame that came inside of a 4x6 picture frame from Dollar Tree. And these are the frames that has the easel in the back of them. I cut the plastic frame in half and then threaded the jump rings on the plastic frame until I had all the gems connected on that thin frame. And I also add some white acrylic paint to the plastic, which ended up chipping and looking a hot mess, but it ended up being totally concealed anyway. So I have all my gems on there, and I just brought the plastic frame down and around to the back where the main beam is, and then I came up the main beam with the 2 cut ends, and I connected the 2 ends together with some duct tape. Hot glued that area right on the frame or the main beam, and I added another snip of tape over that area just for more security, as well as the side frames where they were touching the small dowels. I glue and I tape that area down too to help support the weight of the gems. Once your gems are completely hung, now we're ready for step 6, and step 6 is the glam part, the mirror backing, the trim, and the bling, and all that good jazz. So I laid this structure on the back of a mirrored plastic plate that I got from Dollar Tree, and I outlined the dimensions on the back with a pencil. Then I used a ruler to connect the top and bottom with straight lines. I wanted to be sure to overcut the outline so that I would have plenty of room for error. I cut and I trimmed the outline until I had a good fit. Now you want your mirror to fit inside the gems and inside the top and bottom pieces, and cover the plastic frame from corner to corner in the back. Once I was happy with the way that it fit, I glued the mirror to the beam, and it was still a little short at the top, so I cut a small rectangle out to fill in that gap. I'll just line that piece with the top dowel. Next, I added some trim, and I start at the top. I work on the main beam with 2 rows. I just go around that with 2 rows of adhesive bling wrap. Then I went across the top ring, or the small ring, with some acrylic gems from Dollar Tree, and I just hot glued those on there. And I cover the holes up on the big ring with some bling. I used 3 rows of bling. This is some adhesive bling that I actually bought from Dollar General. And once our glam is finished, we're ready for step 7. And step 7 is installing the lights. So I'm going to be using battery operated lights for this project. So I turn the back facing me, and I place each battery pack on the back of the dowels, and I set them up against the main beam inside both 90-degree corners. Now you can use Velcro here. I just used a couple of little drops of hot glue, and I positioned them where the on and off switch was facing out. Be sure to see how Beverly made her gorgeous project and let me know your thoughts on this chandelier in the comments below. I'm also going to post a comment giving you an update on my crazy past 2 weeks if you've kind of been wondering what's been going on and where I've been. And remember, there's always more details in the description box about this project. I love you and thank you for watching. I'll see you soon in the next one.